I never really do. First of all, raise your hand if you heard me speak before. Okay. Okay. It's like a whole bunch of virgins here. And the reason I say that is because when I usually do a book signing or a speaking engagement, I move around a lot, talk a lot. I don't do any reading out of any books or anything like that, so I don't want anybody to expect that. But I will tell you this, and I guarantee you, by the time we get finished, you folks will understand most of these characters, where all these crazy people come from. You will have a ton of your questions about Carl Weber answered.
Coco.
Super fine Coco. And you'll probably get to the point where you'll see that I'm about as down-to-earth a person as they really come. First thing I say to everybody is, my success is not due to me, it's due to you folks, and I really, really, really appreciate everything and all the money that you have spent. I don't want anybody to think that I'm some fool that doesn't think that $24 for a hardcover book or $15 for a trade paperback, even $6.99 for a master book. That's your money, that's your hard-earned money. And one of the things that I try to do at all times is to make sure that your money is well spent.
Yes. And we appreciate you for that.
All right. Well, you kind of start this whole thing about Carl Weber. You know, people always ask me, they say, have you always wanted, they say, you have this gift. Have you always wanted to write books? And well, I'm going to be honest with you. The answer to that question is, hell no. Straight up. I never wanted to write a book. The only thing I ever wanted to do was to own 5 McDonald's. And it's very important that you remember it and you think about this whole situation about these 5 McDonald's because they mean something. It's not just saying something, it was something that was very important. And so writing, it was nothing I ever thought about it. To be honest with you, I wasn't the greatest of English students. That wasn't something that, intrigued me. I was more into this business thing. I really enjoy business. I have a master's, MBA in business, and I have a degree in accounting. So that was something, that's what it was really all about for me, was to be involved with business. And when I went to college, my parents basically said, look, you got to choose a career. So I chose accounting because I was going to own these 5 McDonald's and I was going to count all my money. Because I wanted to be rich. My pops told me if we could own the McDonald's, we'd be rich. I figured if I owned 5, I'd be 5 times rich. I wanted to be rich. So I went to school, and I got a degree in accounting, and I went in a totally another direction. I ended up working as an accountant for a while, trying to save this money up to get this damn McDonald's. And as I'm trying to save to get this McDonald's, I found that accounting was the most boring thing that you could ever want to do. And that's not against any of you folks that do accounting. But it is boring. So, well, I ended up going with one of my personal passions. And I've been a comic book collector since I was about 6 years old. So I opened up a comic book shop in Virginia, and it ended up being 3 shops. And I opened those comic book shops off of, y'all remember those Citibank, Visa, and MasterCard they used to give you in college? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Well, those Visa cards started my comic book business. That in my comic book collection. And I ended up getting 3 stores out of this. And one day, I'm sitting in my store, and these 3 white guys walk into the store wearing suits. I'm going to tell you right now, I was scared to death. I just knew it was the IRS. So I'm sitting there looking at these dudes, I'm like, damn, I'm in trouble. And one guy turns around, he smiles at me, he goes, how you doing? Michael Huizenga. I was like, and? He said, Michael Huizenga, like it was supposed to be important to me, you know what I'm saying? And what I didn't know about this guy, Michael Huizenga, was he was the son of Wayne Huizenga. Anybody know who Wayne Huizenga is? Wayne Huizenga owns the Miami Dolphins and is the person that created Blockbuster Books. Blockbuster Video. I mean, we're talking billions here, y'all. And his son was a comic book collector similar to me, and he wanted to cut his teeth from something different than his father, but he wanted to use the same formula. And his father's formula was, they would come into a town and they would size up a video shop. Remember the old mom and pop video stores? There's no more anymore. The Blockbuster took over. But they would size you up. They'd either make a decision, either I'm going to buy you out, or I'm just going to open up and put you out of business. So this guy, I had 3 stores, so I guess he figured I was kind of big fish. So he actually offered me $100,000. Now I'm thinking, $5,000 Visa card, $100,000. I took the money and ran. I was gone. Wasn't even no joke. And at the time, I was a single father, so I went back to New York. And when I got to New York, stayed with my mom. Now, my mom is my rock. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? That's my rock. And at the time, I got this little baby, single father. My mom's taking care of my son for me. She said, let me take care of my kid. And I'm back in New York, where I'm from, you know? And it's been a few years because I graduated college and everything, went to work for a little bit. Come on in. Come on in, grab a seat. And Mom is helping me, and I'm getting kind of lonely because, you know, me and my ex, we broke up, and, you know, so, you know, but, see, I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. You folks already know that. And, well, living in Virginia, in the South, if you're a member of a fraternity, a sorority, an Eastern Star, or a Mason, you have a social life. Well, back in New York, they don't give a damn about Alpha Phi Alpha.